Hey guys, Prison here. I'm profiling my Simorgh deck for you guys for the March 2020 format. It's one of the many decks that I had that got support from Dual Overload. So, I hope you guys enjoy. Pre-ordered the Link Monster, just got it in the mail yesterday. I want to give you guys a deck profile. I don't have the best deck profile by any means, but I do like my profile. It works pretty well. I guess the only other thing I have to say is this is just a cool $20 deck pickup. Besides the Simorgh, I just picked everything up I needed for like 20 bucks when I first saw this support come out and saw it was announced, because I always like Dark Simorgh. So I picked all that up, and then fairly soon after they came out with a link, so I picked that up, and the deck works pretty well. Haven't took it to any big events. I played it against like one or two friends, and that's it. But it's worked so far. So without further ado, hope you guys enjoy. Two Simorgh, Lord of the Storm. And then two Simorgh of Darkness. These guys work in tandem with each other. They're really good. Make sure that I read everything right, because they do have a lot of effects. So you're putting in target him with spell trap effects if he's been tribute summoned. When a spell trap card or effect is activated, you can tribute a winged beast and target a card your opponent controls stuff in the deck, which is super good. And then when a winged beast monster is destroyed by battle and it's in the grave, you can add it back to hand. So he can just be like recycled when anything gets destroyed, which is pretty easy because you get a lot of bodies on board. And then when something's activated, you can also just tribute one of the ones because they come back a lot and shuffle a problem card. And then the Dark, if you tribute a Dark Wind monster, you can special summon him from the grave, or your hand, which is really cool. When a spell or trap is activated, tribute a Wind monster, negate it. So this is kind of like your removal. This is your negation. What's cool is you'll tribute summon him, and then you'll just special summon him. And then whatever you tributed will usually come back, then you'll have fodder to shuffle or negate, which is awesome. And then you have a Dark and a Wind for Dark Simorgh. So those are your really big main deck boss monsters. Onto the little guys. All these Simorgh monsters have the effect that if it's in your graveyard and your opponent controls no cards in a spell or trap zone, you can special summon them in defense. But they do get banished when they leave the field, which really sucks. You can also only summon Wing Beast for the turn, but you mainly just go on Wing Beast in the decks. So we have three Simorgh Bird at beginning. Basically run three of all these. He gives you an additional normal summon, Simorgh Bird of Bringing. This adds a Simorgh card from deck to hand, which is really important, so you can add the really good spells from your deck to hand, any of the monsters. One Simorgh Bird of Calamity. It's your Foolish Burial of the deck for any Simorgh monster. And then Simorgh Bird. I run two Simorgh Bird of Protection. I only run two of him because his effect, he pops a spell or trap, but like a lot of your cards get rid of spells or traps, so he helps the deck work in ways, but you also don't really want to see him more so than you do the other ones. But if you want to run a version where you're just trying to get as many of them in your grave, then you can run a third copy. And then I play, of course, the one Dark Simorgh, which is what made me play the deck. He's searchable. You can bring him out off of, banishing your darkness or your wind, and now with the new link, he can bring him out of the deck. He basically makes it so your opponent can't set cards, so against any anti-meta deck, play him first turn, they can't set any of the traps. And when you mix him with the trap card I have in the deck, he's really good. My last monster, one Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds. These are really my two targets for Simorgh Bird of Sovereignty, the new link. You can play like Allocator Sovereign of Birds. He's really cool. During your turn, you can target a card to get its effects. It isn't during your opponent's turn, though, so it's alright. And then I saw somebody trying a Simorgh Bird of Ancestry, which lets you tribute summon all Wing Beast monsters for one less tribute, but like you already have cards in your deck that do that, so they just seem like bricks. These are like the best options. Other than that, you can special summon these guys out, which is really good. Like you're this guy. Sorry, it's gotta be Wins, this big dude. But yeah. He's good because he stops your opponent from, or either player from special summoning monsters besides Winds, which in this deck, it really only hurts your Simorgh and your Dark Simorgh and your Simorgh of Darkness, but when you actually pull off combo with him, it really doesn't hurt you. Alright, play 3 Elborz, Sacred Lance, Simorgh. Really cool. All your Wing Beast monsters gain 3 in attack and defense, which is awesome, so they get a buff. You can reveal a level 5 or higher Wind monster in your hand. You can normal summon a Wing Beast monster for one less tribute, and then once you do that, if you control a Wing Beast monster, you can normal summon a Wing Beast. So what you can do is like you can summon one of your little Simorghs, reveal him from your hand, and then immediately after it resolves, just tribute him. Instead of for 2 tributes, just tribute the one monster for 1 tribute, and just start your shenanigans by playing Dark Simorgh and whatnot. So really good. Kind of helps your plays go off. Your terraforming, so you play a 4th copy. Play 3 Simorgh Onslaughts. It's basically like your Melody of Waiting Dragon, your Illusion Magic, and Dark Magicians, but for Simorgh, you discard a Winged Beast monster and you add 2 Simorgh monsters with different attributes from your deck to hand. So really, you'll send one of your smaller Simorghs to your grave so you can special summon it again, and you'll add your 2 big boys, your Simorgh Lord of the Storm and Simorgh of Darkness. So then you contribute it and special summon that. And then it also, Onslaught's pretty cool because you can banish it from your grave, reveal a Winged Beast monster, and reduce the levels of monsters in your hand with that name by 1, which is really cool. So helps you kind of attribute them for less too. Really awesome. So really easy to attribute someone for the cards you need. Before this, I was running like March of the Monarchs and toying around with playing Domain of the Monarchs because it was more like a no extra deck. But now with the link, it's not really how it plays. Now this next card, it's a card I've been running in a lot of my decks. I think it's a good card that people look over. It's kind of hard to get your hands on. 3 Perform Pal Popper Up, great card. There was some people running him Spires for a while. You can set up to 3 cards in your hand at the graveyard, draw that many cards. The only downside to the card is if you don't special summon any monsters off of its effect that lets you special summon Perform Pals or Magician Pendulums from your hand equal to the number of cards you draw, you take 1,000 life points for each card in your hand. Now that sucks. So you want to make sure that you can get everything out of your hand when you do this, or at least as much as you can to take the least amount of life points. But in this deck, it's great because all of these little Simorghs, you can just like send 3 of them to your graveyard, draw 3 cards if you go first, and then special summon all 3 of them back with their own effects. So really good card. Plus you can send your like Simorgh Onslaught, use its graveyard effect, all that nice stuff. Send your Simorgh of Darkness, tribute summon your Wind, and special summon from the grave. You literally lose nothing off the card. 2 Twin Twisters to get rid of your opponent's back row. I would decide a 3rd in the deck. I'm not running 3 though because I feel like some decks don't even play back row or that much, especially with how decks are shaped up now with 3 Avarice about to be running about. They're not going to be playing a lot of back row. But you can send a little Simorgh from your hand to grave, pop 2 spells of traps, and then just bring it back. And like if you clear the spell and traps, it's not going to hurt if it's in the grave. Just bring it back from your grave. If you send Simorgh of Darkness, special summon it. So yeah, that's it for the spells, guys. I also toyed around with playing Foolish Burial in the decks. If you send a little one of the smaller Simorghs, you can bring yourself back, but player preference on that. I run 2 Anti-Spell Fragrance because it can kind of harm you in a way, and when I ran 3, it definitely clogged you. I don't want to see doubles, because the only reason why I really run this card, I mean, it shuts down some decks, but is so you can have that old school lock with your Dark Simorghs, so depending on what you open and what you're playing against, if you end on, let's see, if you end on like Sovereignty, it lets you special summon a Winged Beast at the end of the turn to zone points you from your deck. So like if you're playing against a deck that plays a lot of spells or traps, you can bring out your Dark Simorgh from your deck and then just sit on Anti-Spell Fragrance, because when it flips up, it makes your opponent have to set spells before they activate them. And Dark Simorgh doesn't let your opponent set anything, so basically just locks your opponent out of spells and traps, which is really cool. And then your Sovereignty will obviously protect it. We'll get more into that when I actually get into the card. But yeah, I believe Anti-Spell Fragrance in this deck is still a really strong card, especially if you're playing Dark Simorgh in the deck, which is why I picked up the deck, so yeah. 2 Icarus attacks, it's basically just that. That's also why I'm running 2 Twin Twisters. Like another Twin Twisters, you tribute a Winged Beast type monster and target 2 cards in the field and destroy them, so it's cards, not monsters. So you pop 2 monsters, 2 spells or traps, 2 Pendulum Scales, whatever you need, and then if you tribute like any little guys, they come back, so it really doesn't hurt you. And my last card is Harpy's Featherstorm. If you control a Winged Beast type monster, till the end of the turn, you negate any monster effects your opponent activates. And then if you control a Harpy monster, you can activate it from your hand, which is cool. Which we'll get into the extra deck why that effect can actually matter. But it's just like a skill drain or like a Forbidden Chalice without the attack buff that hits your opponent's whole board. So like if you're going second and need to have some cards go off, if like an Appaloosa and a couple other negates, you just duster all of it. With 1 card, you turn it all off, and then you go. So it's basically like a Dark Ruler no more, but this deck can main it a lot cheaper. So yeah, that's it for the traps, guys. I saw some people running 2 of this. I believe you need 3. It's just really good. Alright, on to the links. I'm going to have to read this dude because he is new. So I want to make sure I get the effect right. But I'm running 3 Simorgh, Bird of Sovereignty. Really good card. Ever since that card came out, it made the deck like a lot stronger. So I'll make sure we can read. I make sure that all the effects are right. You can't use this link material, which seems to be a trend with a lot of these. You can't target this card or wing beast monsters. It points to card effects, which is super good. If it would be destroyed by battle, you can destroy one other Simorgh card you control instead. And then during the end phase, you special summon a wing beast monster from your hand or deck with a level equal to or lower than the total number of unused spell or trap card spaces. You only use the effect once per turn, so that's really good, especially at going first. You're most likely not going to set anything, or if you do, it'd be like one card and your opponent won't have anything. So that'll leave a total like 9 spaces, which the only ones you're really trying to get out, you'll need 7 unused spaces. So depending on your, your space, or you'll need 4, which most time you go ham, they'll usually be 4. So what's really cool is this is usually going first. You'll use this, so you'll play this, and then what happens is your opponent can't special summon anything but win. So usually that can just win you the duel right there. But even if not, they can't target it with like Imperm or like Forbidden Chalice because this prevents it from being targeted, which is really cool. And this card is also really cool with its built-in protection. So like if it would be destroyed, you can destroy another like little Simorgh, which doesn't matter. But yeah, or like I said, if you're going first and you know it'd hurt them more if you like draw anti-spell, you can play this. It can't be targeted and then set your anti-spell. So, or set it and then use it. Really good. Love the card. Love the combo. I'm debating, depending on what you end up going up against, I'm debating on maining a second one of these or just keeping the one because like I don't want to draw it per se, but they do get over it once. I don't want to play it again, so. It's up to player preference. But yeah, so 3 of him. Next card that we run is Heartbeat Conductor. So I played 2 of this. It's basically because this plays two plus monsters, including Wing Beast. So like, if you play like her, you can just go her and then another card and just make this. What's cool, if Heartbeat monster you control be destroyed by a card effect, you can throw in spell or trap card instead that you control. So like if they would try to destroy it, you can like turn off your anti-spell if you need to, and just protect it. The only other cool thing is it's a Harpy monster. It's got it in the name, so if you have this in your hand and you're like winning, you and your opponent needs to like get off monster effect or whatever, you can just sit on this, activate this from hand, which is really cool. Next we run the Wind Charmer Verdant. Just basically because if you play it, you can special summon a wind monster for your opponent's grave. So just takes 2 wins, and you play all wins. So like if you mirror match, play their Lord of the Storm. Really cool. 1 Barricade Board Blocker. It protects your field spell from being targeted or destroyed by card effects, which it's kind of important. And you can also discard a card. At the end of the turn, you can add it from your grave to hand. So let's say you're like grind gaming, you can add 1 back. Because honestly, after like the Simorgh and the Harpies, the rest of this deck really doesn't matter. The extra deck, I mean, it matters, but it's not as important. Sorry, guys, I actually have 2 of these guys just to fill space. Play 1 Great Fly. He's kind of important. He's a wind. He gives all wind monsters in the field 500 attack and defense. And if he gets destroyed by your opponent's card effect or by battle, you try to win monster in your grave and add it to hand, which is pretty decent. Just kind of helps you attack buff your monsters. 1 Phoenix. We all know what it does. If it's co-linked, you draw a card. You can pop spell or trap. 1 Unicorn. It can shuffle a card in the field to get rid of a Floodgate or a monster. If it's co-linked, you draw 1. Teching and 1 Power Code Talker. Pretty cool. You can target a card on the field, negate its effects, and then if it attacks, quick effect, you contribute a monster it points to, and this key becomes doubles original attack, so it becomes a 46. So, pretty cool. You kind of end games with it. 1 Trisbana, because all the Simorghs come back, so you could like link into this, and then especially some of the Simorghs back to his end it points to, and banish all spells and traps. And then go into Sovereign, and they have nothing, and just special summon your barrier, which is cool. 1 Bomber Dragon, same theory. You can bring them back with their own effects, blow up the board. And then 1 Topologic Zeraboros, just because they get banished after they get sent to grave again. So you can kind of make him beefy. He gains 200 attack for each banished card, which is really the only effect that matters. And if you go against like Orchestra decks that banish a lot, you can bring this guy out. He's just a big-ass beat stick. So, yeah. That's it for the profile, though. Like I said, guys, like there's a lot of decks like this deck. There's people running around running like Union Carrier with the Buster and stuff like that, so you can lock your opponent. So, however you want to run the deck. I like it this way. This seems to be like the cheapest, most fun way to play it. But like, comment, subscribe. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. And I hope you guys enjoyed the profile. That was my Simorgh deck. I'll see ya.